so limited or sitting on shelves? I saw this debate the other day. People were going in left and right. Do people want sneakers limited and hard to get, or do you want them sitting on shelves and just in abundance? What do people want?
So there's two things.
What,
it feels
man?
like.
What?
It seems like the shoes that you want sit on shelves, and then the shoes that you. Oh, actually, I don't know.
I think there's
No, I would say there's some fire colorways sitting on shelves.
That's what I meant.
And you know, you throw a little thunderbolt on that, they're gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Like those.
Shouldn't need that though. It shouldn't need it. Okay, let me get perfect. The
you want what
DJ
you
Khaled
can't.
5s.
They're
Talking about
so ugly.
one of the best quality 5 Jordans ever made.
super soft buttery
It's a
leather.
collab.
Great colors.
It's the-
Never,
it's
never
the
before
bottom
seen
color is
colors.
Never before seen colors.
True.
Even the bottom of the outsole has the "We the Best" like Nike Air on the back.
It's also about who they collab with. If you would have did that with Union, they would have been like the Guavas.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And then if you threw the Guavas as a Khaled collab, garbage.
No, actually no, because look at the Union 2s. Union 2s.
But we're talking about fours. We're talking about fours. We're talking about fours. Like I said, if you were a sneaker manufacturer or Nike, Adidas, or whatever, I think it would just be very confusing to kind of read the consumer, right?
Yeah, no,
like we've
that's right.
been wanting LeBron 8 South Beaches.
Got them back and
Got 'em
Even
back.
I just looked on the sneakers app, and there are still those black with the teal and the yellow, almost like the PE
Fives?
exclusive 5, the CB3 ones. It's like back in the day, player exclusives were like the craziest things ever.
Yeah.
Even
And then
Metallic
everyone
fives.
always says, look, if you want, they still
Even
are
Metallic
hype.
fives, yeah.
They're still high priced, but then when Nike and Jordan Brand drops that exact colorway that you want,
We
it
don't want
still sits on the shelves.
What is it? What is it? What do you guys
I
think
think
it
it's
is? Like,
the supply and demand factor every
okay.
time.
You want
It's
what you
supply
can't
and demand.
have, and sometimes when you have it in front of your face,
It just ain't it.
it's not it. It's you know, I always said there's a good middle ground between you can't get them and then they're just readily available. I think when they're just readily available, it kind of takes away the hunt. And sometimes when it comes to sneakers, the funnest part is the journey of getting them. Like
a decent price pair?
great
or something?
a decent
It's a great
price.
point.
Like I loved when I got the Red Octobers just due to how much went into finding them. Calling, asking you guys to let me know if you guys have an 8.5. That's what made that really fun. Not about how much they were, and that's why I don't want shoes to be like super available. I like the hunts.
I have a thought, and it's probably not going to come across super, super nice, but I think most people who are buying sneakers because they want that specific sneaker are not buying it 100% for them. They're
Who do they buy
also
it for?
buying it for others, their peers, for people to see. So then that's
Impress
why
others, yeah.
it's to impress others. So there's like two demographics, right? One is those type, and the others are people who don't have like any sneakers, and they're like, I finally want a pair of Nike Jordans for the first
got
time.
it. Okay.
So there's like two totally different demographics.
That's
Okay.
true.
kind of piggyback off that. I feel like it's sometimes if you get the sneaker and you look and there's no resale value, something in your stomach hits like,
Bingo.
this isn't hot.
It happened with you.
You know what I mean?
So
That's
ladies.
it's weird,
Yeah.
right? That's kind
I
of the
know
weird
what you're.
feeling you get.
It's natural.
guys, it's simple economics. Supply and demand. Okay?
Yeah, that's-
when there's just too many varieties and options out there, people just don't want it as much. I think as a consumer, right? If I was just a regular consumer, which I am, I'm looking at it as like, okay, I know I'm not going to be able to get these as a retail price. I know that.
Yeah.
So what's the next best thing to do? To see if it's actually going to raise in price
Over
for
time.
resale. And if there's no resale value in it, why would I want it? Right? Because at this point, I know I'm going to have to pay resale. But it's so close to retail price, but it's not like hype enough in the range where it's like a grail.
Relevant.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I cop it, right? And I think that's the problem, going back to kind of what you're saying about 5 years ago, is there wasn't as much variety. Like you kind of to pick what you could get, right?
Yeah.
Now it's like overload.
Is there, okay,
Does it
Or-
seem like we're getting too spoiled where we're taking these releases for granted?
Absolutely.
I was just gonna
Almost
say.
like music, almost like just everything that comes out, we're just so quick to forget.
I was
Sensory
gonna ask,
overload.
ask
It
what
is
is there?
like literally the Chicago Lost and Founds. We wanted those for years.
it came and gone.
Gone.
Came and
And-
gone real fast.
But then it's kind of like I have my friend Skate resells shoes on his Instagram, and people are always like, "Yo, when you have this in my size, I'm ready to buy." He has so much inventory that when he drops something, people will always say they want it. They ask for the price, even if it's fair market value, they do not buy. So I think
You
we
want
also
that.
live in a world who
You
people
want what
all-
you can't have.
But just in general, but you can have it though, because in this case, it's right in front of you, and then now you back off and you flake and you ghost. I think we just live in the society where people are like, "I want this."
those are just flakers. We call those
Those
just
are
flakers.
just
No,
flakers.
it's the,
Just
people,
flakers.
it's
Good
the
old
people that
flake.
will say they'll buy it, but then when it's right in front of them at retail,
won't grab it.
they
That's the
don't grab
definition
it.
of a flaker.
A flaker.
Yeah, but I think what we're trying to say is like, it's shocking to kind of see some really dope colorways just sit on the shelves.
Yeah.
Also classic.
Maybe the Khaled 5s, for example. I love that color, but I didn't like the way the shoe executed. But maybe it's because it's him. I don't like the way he markets.
Yeah.
Okay.
It came off as obnoxious to me.
Well, going off 5s, there is a pair of red 5s that I did see on sneakers. I'm not sure. It looks like the Raging Bulls, but they're not the Raging Bulls. It looks like more vintage versions of women's shoe. I thought those are actually going to sell out because the way they executed looked really well. There was like ugly duckling Air Max 1s that I saw on there. These
I
are
like
like
those.
really good shoes that you could get at affordable price, but people are not getting it. And I do believe that's due to the lack of hype. Like, you need some type of hype around it, especially when there's so many.
I recently, kind of like side note, I was talking with my neighbor. I ended up buying a older jet ski. It had an exhaust system on it, and I was talking with my neighbor. He's like a jet ski connoisseur.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, why'd you get that one?" And I'm not jaded like I am with sneakers, where I'm like, I need to
feel
hype
some
this.
type of way,
I need like limited this, that. And I was like, I don't know, it seemed cool, sounded good, so I bought it. And he's like, huh? So the way he treated me buying
almost
that is like
You
he
got a
was
pair of
the-
GRs.
Yeah, like the snotty nose.
Got it.
And I was like, damn, I don't look at sneakers like this, but I look at like a jet ski like this.
Yeah.
And it kind of just reminded me on the flip side, like he's jaded
Totally
now.
two
He only wants the
perspective.
hype, hottest, dopest jet ski. And
Got it.
I wish sometimes I could look at sneakers like that, but I can't.
Right. I mean, it's almost like the Black Cat 4s. Like, we even have customers bring those in, and I'm kind of hesitant to buy them because they're up to $800 to $1,000.
Black Cat
really gonna buy
4s
those,
cost
right?
that
And
much
it's an
right
all-black
now?
shoe. It's like, is it
It's
because
just
it's
because they're
GR
limited
too.
right
yeah,
now.
because
They're
you just
hard
can't
to
go
get.
get it.
Hard to get. It was a GR at one
Just
point, but it's hard to
weird
get.
to me sometimes with some of those shoes. I feel like Khaled's could do that in the future.
Really?
Maybe, you never
The
know.
Black Cat 4, yeah, at one point were literally like the cheapest
Duds.
shoes no one
Duds.
wanted.
Yeah, no one even
Yeah.
looked at them twice.
Man, the Khaled 5s though, that was a great example earlier. Like literally, these are really dope shoes.
High quality.
And
We just don't want them.
Yeah.
There,
We
and there's
just don't.
also another colorway of that whole pack that goes for way more.
right.
The
And
purple
it's
ones.
just so
Purple,
weird
yeah.
that this is just another shade of this like color
Same
palette,
thing,
right?
basically.
Then it should kind of like be the same.
You know what? I'll say this: if the Eminem Force were in the reverse position as the Khaled 5s, they literally will be in the same position. No one would buy them.
Ooh, that's a
Facts.
huge
Such a
statement.
difference.
Literally
Yeah.
with the
Especially
big
right now
E,
with-
no one would give a.
You're talking
no
about
one
the
would
black
care.
ones, the Carhartt ones.
No, you're
Or
talking about
the
the blue
blue
ones.
ones.
Or the blue ones.
Oh, but I mean, but,
buttery blue.
but let's just say, going off the Carhartt one, those are black,
Straight
simple.
up.
You take that E out, it's a
Well,
dud.
It's the Canvas
I was just
Force.
gonna say they
It's a
already
Canvas
they already
Force.
released them, but that shoe did kind of well, surprisingly.
It seems like the resale prices of some of these shoes, either whether they sit on shelves or they sell out, it's just not skyrocketing. It's just not skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's a really good time to kind of buy shoes. Any shoe you kind of want is
There's
kind of
also
affordable.
so
It's a
many.
safe
Like,
play.
If you compare it to a few years ago.
It's a really weird time right now. There's literally some shoes that are just insane in price due to how limited they are. You know, Tiffany Air Force Ones, Louis Air Force Ones. And then you got like the whole flip side where they're just sitting on shelves, retail price.
And you also have a shoe that's not crazy resale, but it's also the most popular shoe, the Panda Dunk.
yeah, it's a
Or-
weird time. Yeah.
There's shoes that are sold out that have no resale value.
yeah.
Yeah.
But do you guys also think we live in a world
weird.
where
That
the current generation of like sneaker buyers don't find value in spending their money on shoes anymore? Like they're kind of growing out
Ooh,
of spending
that's-
$600, $700, $800 the way
No.
they used to.
I feel like I see it still,
still
quite
see it.
often.
Really,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of
What
my
are they
friends
spending their money on?
food.
Vacations,
I guess it depends. Maybe
experiences,
you
raves.
hang out with like older people that maybe are kind of invested into property. Then you got these young kids that come into the store.
I was gonna say the young
and they're
kids.
just like, this is their eighth transaction with us.
Yeah. We have like this 16-year-old girl that has copped reverse mochas. She's
Yeah.
copped I'm in year 4s, and it's just like,
She trying to be
They got
Insta
the
famous.
money.
I think the weirdest thing is
They
when
got
when
money.
a shoe is sold out and there's no resale value. That
Yeah.
to me is very, very weird
Yeah.
to me because it's like it's sold out, but at the same time there's no resale
As
value.
the
Like, that's
as
just weird.
I think the manufacturers like Nike and stuff definitely love that because
Oh,
they
yeah.
get all the money. They made enough where it can sell out.
yeah,
and
but then they just sit back like,
because they don't get any money off resale
at all.
sneakers, you know.
But
so
do you think
Some shoes, though.
do you think Nike likes when they have a shoe that resells for high? Like, do they talk about it? You know, at corporate.
Oh, brother, I'm pretty sure they're backdoor, man.
Well, they definitely did with the raises of the prices of the shoes, right? Like the one,
The
all the
retail in
Jordans,
general.
all the
Wanted a
retail
part of it,
prices gone
yeah.
up to. They tried to match what they think it would have been, you know, resale wise,
Yeah.
and they didn't know what's up, man. They're not dumb.
yeah, I mean, there's no dollar menu anymore, you know. So it's
That's
like everything.
a great way to put it. Everything's
dollar
top
menu.
shelf.
You gotta download the app, guys. That's where the promos are.
All right, guys. Sitting on shelves or
Crazy.
limited. What do you guys want as consumers? Everybody, it seems really confusing.
I
right
like
now.
both.
Yeah.
Like both?
I like both.
Little GRs for the week, and then maybe some limited stuff for the weekend. Huh?
Exactly. I like both, man. I like where the sneaker market is right now. Everything seems what affordable.
Buy the dip, baby. Buy the dip.
That's
Buy
a good
the
way to put
dip.
it.
If that's true, should I go buy a bunch of Midnight Sixes right now? I saw those sitting
Ain't
on
nobody
Nike.com.
rocking
Sitting.
sixes.
Sitting
nobody
on
rocking
Nike.com.
sixes. Ain't nobody rocking
Babe,
sixes.
remember
You
just like
said
the
buy the dip.
No, you
Ain't nobody
remember
rocking sixes, though.
I still love my Oreos.
No, remember
by
the
way.
maroon sixes.
And now they have like
The
the natural
maroon
yellow
the maroon
bottom on
sixes
them. I think
sat,
they look so good.
and now they go for like $400.
It's the Maroon Sixes too.
There you go.
Oh, those maroon sixes are going for
They
four?
go for $400.
They were at the
$4.
outlets at one point.
Yeah.
There you go.
Buy the dip, you guys.
No Nook Sixes.
Taxi ones. You heard it here first. Taxi ones. Don't sleep.